Hi, welcome to day 24 of a 30 days of AI in testing challenge. And my today's challenge was to investigate code explanation techniques and using AI to do code analysis, find insights on code, and maybe even test ideas. So, that was the high level task. That can it explain code to me? Can it help me test better? Now there were two ways how you could do this task. So first was to if somebody is writing a code and then like essentially choosing a code explanation tool, ask it to explain some code or write some code and then ask it to explain that code and review the usefulness. And the option two was looking into some code to explain and then asking LLM to explain that code, seeing how it explains you. So essentially, I mean, either using your own code or somebody else's code and using LLM and prompts for doing that, prompts for test ideas, prompts for issues, refactoring, and so on. So I worked a lot to create a prompt, and I'll share that with you here and with you all. So I have saved that as code analysis. So the prompt that I've created is that you are an expert code analysis and code explanation expert. I will give you code snippets in the prompt, and you have to do analysis and help a beginner understand its simplicity, understand it with simplicity. So I have given it a persona, assigned it a persona that it's a code analysis expert, and it has to read the code and help somebody like me who is a beginner understand this. You also have to check and give feedback on, and it has to give feedback on a lot of things, like is the code compliant with the standard coding guidelines of the programming language used. For example, if the code is in C Sharp, does it comply with the C Sharp coding guidelines, the standard Microsoft coding guidelines? Similarly for Python or Java. So I mean, whatever applies. And if there are issues, tell me that and how to resolve them. Is the code snippet consistent throughout? If not, what are the inconsistent aspects? Are there security vulnerabilities or risks? And what does it have to say about the maintainability of this code? And are there any unreachable code blocks in the snippet? If yes, highlight that, because there should ideally be no unreachable code blocks. Also, write potential test ideas for the development code snippet. At the end, I've written explain the following code so that someone with no development experience can understand. So I don't want it to make any assumptions that I know anything. And then I want to paste a code. Now what I have done, I have looked into this Chrome log watch utility. So it's a very simple utility that monitors the Chrome debug log, and it plays an audio when certain things happen on your screen or on the network console. So I have entered this Python file and I've copied the code. So I've copied this entire code from line 1 to line 61. So these are 61 lines of code. I've copied them, and what I'll do, I'll just paste that here. So I have pasted it here, I've copied it, and now I'm going to submit it on my Copilot. So let's see what kind of response does it give me, and is it able to help me understand the code. So this Python script is designed to monitor a log case, in this case Chrome debug log, and react to certain patterns in the log entities. It uses PyTTSX3 library to convert text to speech. So it has given me about the library, what the code does. So it initializes a list of phrases, initializing text to speech, it loads the configuration file, it defines the path, and so on. And at the end, if the count of pattern reaches certain threshold, 1 between 1 to 10 or 10 or more, it uses text to speech engine to say a corresponding message out loud. So pretty much, I mean, it helps me understand, I mean, what this code is doing. And then code guidelines, so it is compliant with PEP 8, comment should start with hash, and there are some minor issues which it has highlighted, which is good. Then security vulnerabilities, so it said it depends on the security of this JSON file. So I mean, attacker can modify this JSON and influence the behavior, and everything is reachable. Potential test ideas for this code snippet. So I mean, how can we test, and for different aspects, assuming this is a utility and we have to test it. So it has given out certain ideas, like test with a log file that contains lines matching some of the patterns in the configuration file. What I believe is some of them would be valid, most are like just ambiguous and are not valid. But good part is, I mean, it could read the code and like based on the things, it could create some correlation and make some test ideas. Now, what I also wanted to do was to paste the same prompt in Gemini. So I've just copy pasted the same prompt in Gemini and see, I mean, if there are any remarkable differences in the output of Gemini. So I mean, if you see, the explanation part of Gemini is a little bit better, because now here it's like explaining its specific lines and what do they mean. So I liked the explanation that Gemini did, and it explained everything, every line by line, rather than just a pseudocode algorithm which Copilot did. And overall, I mean, the bad part was that it did not give me any other feedback which Copilot was giving me about test ideas, security, maintainability, and so on. So yeah, these are like pros and cons. I mean, one tool was good at explaining the code like a beginner. Another tool was like doing all the jobs which I asked it to do. So was not leaving out things. Gemini was leaving out things, but like did a good job on the last instruction. So that's insight. I mean, little different results. Copilot good at some aspect, Gemini good at the other aspect. What I have done is that in this AI prompt repository for testers, which is available on my website Rahul's Testing Titbits, I have added this code analysis and explanation prompt. So you could like just click on copy to clipboard and you could use it for your use case or extend it and make your own version. So that's pretty much from my side today. Thank you, and see you tomorrow at day 25. Bye.